What is up, buds? Welcome to Weed&d, the pot positive live tabletop role-playing experience. I am your dungeon master for the night, Brandon Allen McClenahan, but you can call me Bam. And this guy is the Green Hornet. It was named by Darkopolis from the Discord community. And so, hey, little Green Hornet. It's got a little stingy guy on it. I love it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is our very great pleasure to bring this little piece of magic to you each and every week. We are absolute adoration and love to all of you who have helped support this along the way. Recently, particularly, I've been talking with a lot of the other creators in this space, some of the guys from Dork Tales and Blackwater D&D and D&D 420. I gotta say, man, this community is just full of some of the most incredible people you could ever hope to meet. A lot of the people that have taken D&D from just a hobby to a creative space are just delightful people. So I can't encourage you enough to definitely just check out what's out there, man. There are some really great shows being put on by some really passionate people. And I mean, it's the best thing in the world for us to get to share it with you every week and that you all come here. And big shout out and thanks to the Buds community because everybody just loves the Buds, man. You guys always show up heavy, and I can't just say just how much this community means to me, but it is a whole lot. Speaking of the community, kind of a cool thing that we did, we pulled 5 Buds at random from our Discord server, and we're going to be doing a WeeD Discord one-shot. It's going to be a bank heist that is dungeon mastered by me. We probably won't stream it, but there probably will be a content video related around it. You know, not everybody has the equipment or the setup to do a stream. So, it'll be something super fun and awesome. If you're not a part of our Discord, definitely, it'll be popping up in the chat now. Definitely go check it out. It's one of my favorite things. We hang out, we listen to music, we smoke weed together sometimes. I gotta say, it's just been a very lovely little place. So definitely check out Discord. And speaking of exciting little things, maybe you've noticed them now, just kind of tiptoeing around the base of the screen here, but we have basically set up the extension, the Stream Avatars extension. So now if you are a follower or a sub, and you say something in the chat menu, it'll drop a little avatar for you down here on the screen, and they'll walk around. Now, in that extensions list, if you scroll down under our video, there's like clothes that you can equip them with, there's actions that you can give them and stuff. Kind of an exciting one right now. The options that you guys have, you have a couple capes, and then all the hair options and some eyes. We're keeping it pretty simple to start with because we are actually going to be designing our own sprites for this as we go along. And the most exciting thing that I have to say for those of you that are with us right now is the Doink Hat, our main general Doink with his dunce exclamation point cap. The Doink cap will be an exclusive released only today. So if you're with us today and you get that Doink Hat, there will not be another opportunity to get that. We will be rolling out exclusive sprites and gears kind of as part of the show moving forward from here. It's a lot of fun. I love this extension. You can hug each other. If you put exclamation point light, your dude will pull out a little lighter and lighters up. You can hug each other. It's freaking amazing. There's some mini games and stuff that we'll be incorporating as we go, but I can't tell you just how thrilled I am to have this. And please hit me up with any thoughts or notes or anything at our various socials. Remember, we are Art Hard Studios on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, in fact, even Reddit. We're everywhere. Art Hard Studios. Check us out. If you ever want to send anything my way or join the Discord, we just be hanging out and talking all the time in Discord. So come join us over there. Well, guys, I'm sure you're sick of hearing my voice already, and guess what? You're going to hear a lot more of it over the next 2 hours. But for now, I would like to take this joint right here and pass it through the magical fibers of the internet to my dear friend, Brenna Folger. Brenna, baby, how you doing?
Oh, bam! I'm doing just fine. Hello, buds. Speaking of D&D 420, hi. Yeah, I did a really fun episode of their show, and it was so much fun. I highly recommend checking them out. Bruenor was a guest, and so was Brian. So please, please, please go check them out. And you know what I'm going to check out? I'm going to check out Abby. I'm going to check out Abby Dandy as I pass her this magnificent magical pipe.
Oh, check it, chickadee, check it. Oh, I'm Abby Dandy, aka Tynna Smooth Hands around these parts. And you know what? I'm just feeling blessed, feeling lucky. You know what? I'm feeling too blessed to be stressed. And I'm going to pass this little ditty on to Droopy. What you got?
Oh, thanks, baby. That's Beanie Baby. What up, y'all? Drew. Thoricus the dwarf. It's cold, y'all. It's cold outside. About to war it up. That was so fucking lame. I'm so sorry. But I am happy that you guys are here, and I'm happy that these guys are here. Best buds in the world. Couldn't made it through COVID without you guys. Seriously, all the fucking love. Let's do what we do best. Let's fuck shit up. You Roger that, best friend? I'm talking to you. I'll pass this magic on over to you, bud.
Loud and clear, best friend. Thank you, and thank you for tuning in to WeeD&D once again. Jake Taylor is Rial Authorvon, ready to go scorched earth on this battlefield and this pipe. Man, we're gonna get all Dynasty Warriors up in this shit, and I'm so excited. Yo, Gus, how's it hanging over there with this pipe?
Yo, appreciate it, Jake. Gus, Two Blunts Langley, and I am ready to risk it for the biscuit. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go, Bam.
Oh my gosh, it made it back. It's such a beautiful thing. Well, guys, we got us a little ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't, but we like to take a little lighter, like this one right here. Make sure we're not going to light any of our friends, family, or household pets on fire, and go. And also remember, you can type !lit in chat to make your avatar do it. Lighters up. Let's play some fucking D&D, guys.
WeeDnD, high fantasy, literally for you and me. So load up bowl and make a roll to take control. WeeDnD.
Every time. If you will all please allow me to set the mood. That intro. And this music. Sandy Stein, brilliant. When last we left the Ferocious Five, they were preparing their army for a showdown with the forces of the Sinister Queen Mab. They had been teleported to the workshop by Securi, an armored rabbit-like humanoid who appeared in a flash of warm sunlight, who had implored them to get the underwhelming troops of the workshop prepared for an encounter beyond their understanding, being ignorant to the ways of war and violence. The five quickly set to work, training their soldiers as best they could in the hour that remained, breaking them into battle units and maximizing their abilities, putting their bumbling generals into action. But will this be enough? Can the five drive off the forces of the Queen of Ice and Shadow? The Fey War has begun, and the five and their armies stand outnumbered and outmatched. Can their ingenuity win the day? We join them now as the great horns of battle begin to blow. Ooh, all right, guys. We jump back in. You hear them, the horns, echoing through the valley. This long, frozen corridor, which leads to the workshop where now you stand before it. Around you, the three giants, mighty stone giants brought to your aid by Securi, the strange rabbit-like man who saved you from your plight on the battlefield. The snow at your feet is icy, blue, and white. The air frigid, cold, but countering that, a strange smell of cinnamon and nutmeg in the air. Sweet, fragrant, like it stains the surrounding areas, even now in this time of darkness. The trees around you littered with the snow from the great storm of Krampus, long since stopped, but still hanging powdery white on the trees. Every movement drops a little bit of snow somewhere or another. Your feet are cold in their boots, or lack thereof. The ground is wet and cold, and around you stand your men, your army, fed with the meal that Tynna Smoothhands fed them with that reminded them all of their warmest memory and home. Then, taking a hiccup and forming too blessed to be stressed, our blessed unit of warriors. Thoricus, you worked with Rivet to build a ballista by which to shoot possibly this bomb that you are planning to leave on the ice, giving your position an attack as well as a fallback point. You also managed to pry the bomb away from the clamp of Rivet, who seemed enamored with it, strangely. Yarr, and he sounds like a pirate now. Divit, you went to work hyping up Rivet as he worked on the weapons that would be given out to all the units, doing such a good job with your inspiration that he managed to forge masterwork weapons even in this hour to supply. You know, with the magic of the workshop, being able to create things so quickly, was able to outfit your entire army with swords. You also managed to prepare your generals, granting them a little bit of the boon of your magic. Bruenor, you set about creating the protector unit, the Chyea Bois. Suiting them up with shields made of nearby sleds and teaching them the ways of a protector's instinct, teaching them defensive ways to fight on the battlefield and not just attack. You also managed to lead the Chyea Bois with a rousing speech that invigorated them and prepared them for battle. Rial, you worked with powder to create the Powder Up North, the stealth unit. A unit that has both the ability to attack at normal range and melee, can hide very well, and that you have trained in this hour to throw. Ranged weapon attack. So a nice stealthy little powerful unit. But so yes, Rial and Powder, you've kind of you're the most, you're all still, you haven't set your positions on the battlefield yet. You're all still kind of standing around. This is just after the moment where we ended last time, where, you hear after all this prep, after all these things have done, and you feel maybe like you might be ready for this at last, you hear the horns echoing, shaking little bits of snow off the tree. They sound so intense. A thunderous roar is starting to come from down this long corridor. You all stand before, pretty much we're going to go into a place your troops phase shortly after this, but is there anything that you guys want to take care of before we do that? Time is short.
Yeah, I got something. We're all here, all the gnomes, all everybody.
Yeah.
All right. I want to walk up like I'm going to give like an elaborate speech and be like what?
Divit, as you raise your arm up, you hear the horn bellow once more, and as you look around at the troops around you, some of them nervous, you see a few of them have their own little magical blunts full of this Ganjaria ganja, and you see, almost like, again, after rallying them with the stories of these great gnomish heroes, they look up at you now and seeing you like one of their own, they let that shakiness fade away as they each take a draw on their own little one and pass it around. You see this great cloud of pink and purple smoke raising up from your troops. The calm of the ganja sets in on them. That was actually a great call, Divit. So their morale was to be affected by the oncoming of the horns, but that was a worthy response. So you see as they shake, they all kind of calm down and look up at you guys.
And we got to hear you say
said this shit makes you not want to do stuff.
It's BS.
Cha!
Chyea! You see Chyea Bois. So let's name them. We've got the Silent G's, Divit's unit, actually booned by your charisma. That was something I didn't tell you guys a little bit about the mechanics, just to see how it played out. Your unit also will benefit from your own charisma. And this is one of those rare times where having a charisma as a dump stat is a kick in the pants. But yes, Divit with his mighty 18, his +4 charisma, that makes his troops actually are the strongest of the individual units that you have. Down in the south, you have Tynna and 2 Blessed to be Stressed with Hiccup as their general. They all stand just a single sword in hand. They set up at the lower end of the strength total with a 5 battle ranking. Moving a little bit to the east, we've got Bruenor and the and Chyea Bois, the protector unit with their shields standing at the ready. Thanks to your speech as well and all of the actions through your intermission, or the prelude to all of this, your preparations is the word I was looking for. You have a 7 battle ranking with your troops. We also have the Powder Up North, which is Rial's unit. They sit at a 7, also having been inspired in one of your 20 minutes. Their battle ranking's a little higher, sitting at the 7. And then, and actually, please allow me to bring this up for you all. We have the Unclaimed unit that we that you've somewhat decided. I'm not going to say sacrifice, but they certainly seem to be the bait. And when asking you what your name for these troops were, I thought it was phenomenal. So, Brenna, what are you calling these troops right here?
Oh snap! I can't even remember because I'm a stoner.
I
I
can't.
can't remember what I said.
Oh, Drew, would you?
Well, that was the other unit that I was gonna take with my unit, the Gnome Reavers, out to be the, if you will, master bait.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh no.
They unceremoniously put on their little vests with targets on them. You see, they don't seem to understand what it means, and you all can't help but laugh at the joke. You see, they even, for some reason, they don't have shoes. It's fucked up, but I thought it was hilarious. Shout outs again, Sean Gilchrist, who drew these. So yes, these are that's the master bait. And then we get to see, I should have done this originally, but the art is too good. These are our standard troops. These are both the Gnome Reavers and the Too Blessed to be Stressed. We've got our Powder Up North stealthy units with their white cloaks and hats. Very quiet. And then we have Chyea Bois with their awesome sled shields.
Chyea Bois.
Those look like borts. Are those borts?
Yeah, each shield is a half a horse board.
It's very
Okay.
boring.
That's okay. So that's what we did with the carriage. Okay, I got it. We just turned it into bort shields.
Mm-hmm.
They had a closet full of
Sun-
slugs.
Oh no, it's a pocket full of sunshine.
And
Yeah.
a closet full of borts.
Yeah, closet,
Loaded to the tilt with boards.
pocket full of sunshine, closet full of borts.
No worries in the world.
Oh.
That's the perspective I'm gonna take for the rest of my life. Yeah, look at these handsome boys.
So
They're
good.
so good.
Handsome Chyea
Whoa!
Good boys.
Man, they have really big feet and tiny hands. I just have to point that out.
They're dexterous.
Here, I'm gonna give him to you again because he's too good.
Oh man.
Just
They're gonna-
standing in the ice with no shoes.
Oh.
You know, he looks like as if he knows. They know.
They know.
Oh, they know.
Like I said, they don't
They know.
understand violence. So it's like you're telling them what's going to happen, and you're like, if you were a person, you'd probably object. But you see, they're just like, happy to help the workshop, and they're all just like, do, and they march off with no weapon in their, they have a weapon. Don't get me wrong. It's just funny
Well,
to imagine them barefoot.
So with that being said, instead of mounting the gnome jizz covered bomb from Rivet onto the ballista bolt, could I paint it like a candy cane, red and white, just like them? Be like, this is your flag. You need to go plant it like
Yes.
way out there, like in the middle of the lake, and then everyone will know who you are. You're the master bait.
Oh.
And
It
then
seems-
everyone will know.
It
And
seems
we'll go in-
almost like
I think my favorite part is the heavy-handedness.
Those hands don't look too heavy to me.
One thing,
so little.
Thoricus, you do know. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of stuff that the other ones don't know. You can share this with everybody as you want, but this is one of those moments. Like, you're a battle master. This is almost what you were born for. It's like you then ended up going on an adventurer's life after being kicked out of your own hometown. But it's like this feels comfortable, and you're starting to remember, like, okay, there's a couple tricks of the trade. You know that attacking from elevation grants a positional advantage to people.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know
it
that
does.
if they have the high ground,
Hey.
Anyone get that?
ground.
reference?
You want to be high.
I hope this is the first time somebody ever saw the show and they're like, this dude is the worst. All right, so yes. if they have the high ground, you will. There is advantage. Most of this plain is flat. Those little mountains that pop up, you do know. You're kind of like looking at them like, You also know that the range of the ballista that you made, I'm just going to ping it, is just about right in front of... I don't know why it's not pinging. Oh, yeah, I do. There we go. About right here. It's right about the middle of the lake. It won't be able to fire beyond that point, though. Like, so, you know, that's about the height of its range.
Outstanding.
Nice.
So those two things come to your mind, Thoricus. And then, so at this point, I would say... The battle's coming, you hear the roaring echo of this army, you know, coming. You hear the smashing of trees, almost like the earth itself is trembling as it starts to come over these horns that keep blowing, you know, kind of shaking your will as you try to get everybody in position and get these, remotely trained, but, you know, in an hour, troops ready for what you know is coming, and they really don't. So yes, at this point, let's shift. Let's go to the battle map. And we will, at this point, set yourselves. The troops are not there yet. You guys, your advantage, again, you're outnumbered, and the troops at their inset were stronger. I'm not telling you the strengths of them until we start this battle. So, yeah, that's about it. Go ahead. You can assume that at this point, you can get into whatever position you would like on this map without having to worry about how many squares you can move and stuff like that. But once you're in position and the battle starts, you'll only be able to move the 4 squares or 3 squares, depending on whatever your troop speed is.
Excellent. Alright, I'm gonna take Chyea Bois down south from the bottom of this lake right here, yeah!
Awesome, and I'll kind of help you. You guys can just move your tokens, I'll move them with you. Set them wherever you like, I'll just get them over there.
Excellent. And the whole time we're gonna be chanting, "Chyea, Chyea, 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 Chyea." We're getting each other all amped up. Chyea, Chyea, Chyea.
Yeah,
Chyea.
you know, you
Like,
almost combat the sound that's coming at you. It's like, what do we stand here in silence? And again, Bruenor, that instinct within you, the destiny you so oft have shunned behind, the calling to be a leader, you're like, I know what these men need right now, a good Chyea. And so you start chawing your heart out and take your position.
Bodacious Chyea.
You see, meanwhile, the master bait walking out with their large candy cane, setting into the. Is that where you want him, Thoricus? Right there. Let me just measure it here. I have a little ruler.
Here?
So from the tip of there, the farthest. The square right in front of them they could get to. If you wanted to move one more to the right, you could. Yeah, that would be the limit of the range of your ballista.
Well, does that because of the distance, if it's closer, is there a higher probability of success?
No. Just so you know. Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Let's put it to the limit.
It's not beyond the range of it, where you would incur a disadvantage for firing. There's no longer the heavy winter storm either. You would be firing as normal. The AC of this barrel's pretty easy to hit, but you know, ones happen.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because like, yeah, you know, they say, oh, if you fire a gun, it can go this far. It's effective up until this far, but honestly, when are you ever going to be in that situation? So, like, the closer it is to you, honestly, you're pretty much,
How dope would it be, though? Somebody's really mad at you, but they're super far away. You see them pull a gun out and they shoot, and you watch the bullet like, no! And then it just runs out of steam right there, and just like that's, you're right where it ends, and just like, it falls down on the ground.
Yeah.
It would be dope.
If anybody ever wonders if we're actually getting high through
Dope.
this, there it is.
You know
That's
what?
how you cure it. Cure gun violence by just making bullets run out of steam.
I'll stick to that.
Yeah, if you're shooting somebody from within 3 feet, you might have a reason to do so. You know, like beyond that, maybe cool off, take a break.
Right?
I'll smoke to that.
So yeah, I think that is where I want to be. Well, where I'm gonna set the master bait. Right in the middle of that oddly shaped lake. Now that I'm looking at it.
What the heck?
I'm gonna have I'm gonna have my units just chill right here at the crest of the lake, and then I'm gonna sit right back here under the whatever this little fjord of a bean of a little part of the lake here is. I'm just gonna chill right there.
No, Bean Fjord was right.
Bean Fjord.
You can't see
Yeah,
the
the
name of
Bean
the
layer. I
lake
called it the
Bean.
Bean
Oh,
Fjord.
these fjords.
All right.
Oh.
Sweet. So that's where you want to post up, right there on the on the
Yeah,
on
that's
the bean
fine.
on the bean.
Well,
Fjord.
they're set up there. I think I hear a chaw over the whipping wind, and it brings a smile to my face, and it reminds me that I have to inspire thine own troops. So I look at Hiccup, and I remember that I have a little bit of that Ganjaria, that special sauce left. So he looks a little bit nervous. So I wanna share a little bit with Hiccup.
You see it
if
handed
it,
down,
you
and
know,
like a child, he
uses
grabs it
bones.
with both of his tiny hands. Thank you. And again, remember, he's a little enamored with Tynna, so you see he's just kind of like, this is a nice little moment with the two of us.
I want to light it for him with sacred
Ooh,
flame
nice.
a little bit. Yeah.
Light it up with a little magical burst of flame. You see he,
That's right. You're gonna need it.
and then he's like, oh man. No, I'm kidding. Yo, seriously, thank you.
Oh, that is my shit.
You see him, he kind of like, he looks at you, and again, you feel that kind of like that pink magical, more so than even our own ganja, but still connecting through the multiverse to our own. This fills you with this energy, you're like, you don't get the full long rest effect of it or anything, but you feel almost, like if magic was a thing that you could see, it would be crackling at your fingertips a little bit right now. You feel that hum of Chyea, the power of the river, as well as the warmth of the sun. It's, you're as you've been prone to do, you start channeling into that, and that light starts coming off of you. That's, like a
And
beam.
that radiating light energy, I want to plant it like seeds in front of the workshop, and if they could grow like vines, like kind of like Sleeping Beauty thorn style, to protect the front of the workshop. And I'm also going to place my guys there as well, but I want to sort of like fortress protect the front of the workshop with my light and energy and Shantia's protection to
Dope.
protect
Okay.
the front of the workshop.
So, each of your troops have these special attacks. Tynna, the blessed troops actually have a percentage. If they are defeated, they have a 50% chance to resurrect. Okay?
No.
So we're going to root that into that narration.
Oh,
You
nice.
see this pooling light kind of wave off of you, and then you see like a glow within each of these troops. This light kind of like its own root into the ground around it, and the soil in front of the workshop itself all starts to glow, almost like when you did the purified garden within the earth. It's like you start to see this like golden dust on the ground all around you, and that's like the narrative function behind, if they are resurrected, they will literally be regrown from these roots that you have now planted in front of the workshop. Super cool. I did skip over the other ones. So Bruenor, your boys, because of the protector training that you gave them, learn a special attack. They can impose, if they do a block action, they can impose disadvantage on anybody that attacks them that round. And then the next round, they get advantage on an attack against one of those people. If 7 people hit you, you don't get to hit all 7 of them with advantage. But if 7 people attempted to hit you, you would get to pick one of those 7 to get an advantage on in the next strike.
Right.
Yes, Queen Slay.
So yeah, the boys, they've learned you basically taught them a rudimentary phalanx, where the shields come down and they each, there's no weakness, and they're poking their little swords out from between these gaps in the shields. Thoricus, bringing the Gnome Reavers, bringing the Raka, you feel that swelling energy within you, the fire bird itself, kind of humming. You've taught your boys, it's not just stick the tip in the other man, it's stick it hard, fast, and then feel that moment afterwards. Like the war, you try to explain to them, like, maybe you don't understand violence, but you don't understand how things feel good. And you start to explain the feeling of a well-won battle. And you see their eyes. They may not understand death or violence, but they do understand that level of satisfaction. Maybe it's like just a treat to them, but it is something that their brains do understand, that satisfaction, that feeling of a plan working or something. And so you see them set in that. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, as another person who builds shit, I know that their workshop that they work. And I mean, like, you know, when you have something that you need to build and you make like 90 of them, but then there's that one, and you're just like,
Oh yeah.
shit. Just look at this. You know, I fucked this up. Like, I spent all day.
Yeah.
And you see
Like,
them all like,
Hey.
That's what you want to feel when you do this. Like, you're gonna want to be like,
yeah, you see, whereas the other ones, you know, maybe not shaken, but still not necessarily aware of what's coming. Your troops, Thoricus, bream with a bit of excitement. Now, the function of the Gnome Reavers, if they defeat an enemy in battle, they get a +2 to their morale. Now, morale tops out at +10, just so you know. But yes, you get a +2 and it stacks. So it's like as they get that, as they feed that feeling, they get stronger from it. So awesome. I love it.
me too.
Cool. So, and then that brings us back. Again, we started with you, dear Tynna. You have now basically planted the roots of, again, tapping into Chyea, not having that same connection to her, feeling through this Ganja, through this Feywild. You're drawing a little bit more on the surrounding magic, calling it to your aid, you know, in the way that you would grab multiple dishes before a meal. You know, it's like this time it's not the river of Chyea, but it's rather you're pulling in this magic all around you. Your connection to Chyea right now is actually a little sketchy. Like, you don't feel like she's watching over you, but rather still granting you her power. And so, yeah, go ahead.
The magic that I produce, do I notice the quality of it? Does it feel dark in any way?
No.
Or
no, it
okay.
doesn't. So you would, yeah, again, it's almost like you're drawing on the beauty of the trees, the softness of the snow, the purple and pink sky. That's, you know, it's like, even though you're dealing with all this madness, you're still looking at, you know, green and pink mountains on the horizon that spot, you know, in every way you look. The sky is this mix of watercolored purple and pink and blue. And so, you know, it's that you call upon, the beauty of nature, even in a nature that's not, you know, the prime material plane's nature. This is still a beautiful source of nature and life. And that is really what the essence of your magic is. You know, granted you by Chyea, no doubt, but the core of where that divine magic comes from, and even kind of a bit of a discovery you're having in this moment, is realizing that Chyea simply gives you access to life and nature, but nature and life are powerful forces that exist across many realities.
Huh. Wow.
Get it.
Hell yeah.
Hi.
All right, so Too Blessed to Be Stressed, Chyea Bois, the Master Bait, the Gnome Reavers, they are all set. Let's shift over. Rial, I put you in the area. I didn't know exactly where you wanted, so I just put you over there. Feel free to move them wherever you want. This is entirely on you.
Right. No, this is pretty much what I had in mind.
I listen.
Nice. All right.
I don't really want it.
Okay.
And
cool.
I know but I
Oh.
figure, like, with gnomes and their fey innocence, if I can hearken it to a game of, like, hide and seek or something.
Okay, yeah, like trying to
Oh.
speak to their playful side and spirit.
Right.
Again, games something they've probably played. Maybe
Like
not
hide and go
necessarily like
seek.
the same kind of games
Except-
that you. What's that?
I said like hide and go seek, except this would be like hide and go fuck yourself.
Yeah, no, I like that, Rial. So your troops have a pretty cool ability. Again, coming off of hide and seek, it's like, yes, like of course they've played that around the workshop. It's the fun game. They remember when they were young gnomes. You know, you see all of them kind of smiling. All of them afraid to talk. Like there's almost this like rule of silence amongst you guys, and so. Yeah, your troops have the ability to hide if nobody can see them within 3 squares, so they can like attack, disappear. That's like it's a stealth unit. So yeah, go ahead. Yeah, do you want to play that out with them, or just set them in position and basically give them that concept to kind of narratively back up that function?
I do a little bit, and it's such a weird conundrum because I remember playing hide and seek myself as a child, and it's just funny the life that I'm living right now. But it just kind of throws me a little bit because that past wasn't mine. It's Synthesis's past. I remember it. I technically lived it, but who I am right now is something entirely different. But I've
True,
learned from my
Rial.
friends.
You have
Yeah.
you've probably never actually played a game.
No.
He's joshed. Oh, he's joshed
The
around.
Josh
us.
is
He's an expert
He's
josher.
tops
He's a
Josh.
He's a
dragon
really
catcher.
good josher.
The dragon
He'll Josh.
catcher of
Josh, and it keeps me going,
What-
y'all. Do it for the Joshin.
Tops joshing. All right. Yeah. Yeah, so after having this kind of strange revelation, and again, it's now that you look on these memories, you know, you can see them clearly in your mind, but aware now of this greater truth, Rial, you see a little fuzz around the edge of the camera. You know, whereas before the picture was so clear, you now, with the understanding of the fact that your life began when the goodness was removed from synthesis, you know, at that point, Rial was created. These memories that you have that you thought were yours, in fact, some of your only bedfellows for 7 years of torture, aren't actually authentic. And so now that you can look back on them, you see that kind of like the cracks in the paint, so to speak. You're like, this isn't mine, although it is. Like I was there, you were there. The goodness and synthesis saw all of those things, so they are your memories. But the body of you, we're getting fucking meta. Like this is fucking me up right now. Sorry, Rial, this is great.
too high, too deep.
Oh,
It's
too,
fun.
yeah, it's so
Wild
high,
shit.
so deep.
I'm here for it.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
let's
I'm
get
calling that a
fucking-
crit hit.
Oh man, all right.
I need it. My head. That blew my mind, Rial. You're right.
We're going deep, y'all.
So high, so deep.
Get your boots.
All right.
Get-
All right. So yeah. You see they, even though they're kind of watching you have like this emotional quandary with the thing you're telling them. They're like, and then they're like, you look at them like, did you understand? And they all just kind of like, and they hide behind a tree, and you're like, yeah, that's the gist of what I was saying. So yes, Powder Up North has the ability to re-stealth with advantage, and then when they attack from advantage or from stealth, they have advantage, including their ranged attacks. So that's a pretty powerful little unit in this fun little thing. So yeah, that's Powder Up North. The last of the troops that have not moved yet, that would be our boy Divit with you boys, the Silent G's.
All right, bet. I see the troops around me, right? Who else left over here? It's just the Silent G's. Anybody else?
Yeah. So Tynna is kind of Tynna. Did you want to be that far away, or did you want to be like more over by the? I just want to know, just so that you can be wherever you want. I didn't want to make that sound like there was a better option. I
No,
didn't
I
know
was trying to see. Yeah, I want to kind of post up here because I want to be able to heal the rest of the group as well.
Dope.
Yeah, I want to get a good look on everybody and everywhere. Yeah.
Dope. Okay, so, and it also, if you'll notice, like, there is that little southern pass right there. Probably not a bad idea. You know, you never know. Maybe something comes around, that's little spike here that gives you a good defense position, too. And you would kind of, Tynna, with your function in this war and your troops even, you're almost the fallback point. You know, it's like, as troops get injured, they'll back up to you. Maybe you can heal them and send them back and help restore some of the battle rankings that are lost. You know, it's like, ooh, this will be fun.
Yeah,
so
but I
perfect.
would still remain back here as like the final.
You see
fight of the-
the two blessed to be stressed, noticing like kind of you guys, if anything, you're a defensive position and a triage at the same time. So they bring a couple beds out. They bring a couple, it's like this is kind of like in case people need to fall back, they're going to be coming for your aid. It's like everybody's kind of looking to you as like the medic of this force. And you see, even these gnomes that don't know you and know very little of some of them know of the five that you've seen from the fact that Curie talked about you. But yeah, even they, like, it's like there's something about you, that glowing light that always just kind of seems to shine from you in these moments where you're connected to your core purpose. Everybody looks at you with like a shining in their eyes, like they're looking upon a saint.
And I'm feeling really emotional from this new connection I feel to this life force that isn't Chyea but is empowered through Chyea, and I feel again almost otherworldly, and I feel empowered to lead this group of people and ready to heal.
Heck yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, something, that warm light that washes over even you, Rial, and you, Bruenor, so far away, hundreds of feet away. Even over all that great distance, you still feel that warmth, that benevolence, that comforting grace that seems to wrap around you guys. And it's in the same way that when you eat her meals, that warm memory, you all kind of, as that warm wave pushes off the harsh and bitter cold of the winter that wraps your skin, you feel that warmth radiate within yourself, and you're all, even though not next to each other, the five are still together in this moment. So Divit, yeah, you and your boys, and then and you guys can tell me where you want to set these giants at too.
So I can communicate with the giants mentally, right?
Yeah.
Like language is not an issue.
Correct.
So I guess since I can communicate with them, I'm gonna ask one of them to stay here, and I'm gonna ask two of them to come with me to this mountain over here.
Which one?
This mountain.
I don't know why it's not pink. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So you want two over here?
Yeah, because they is the mountain enough rock for them to be able to hide?
It is. So yeah, the convention of this map, I just want you to know, this isn't, I didn't spend a ton of time on the scale of things. Like 100 troops fit in one square. It's roughly 100 feet. I did all of the mechanics kind of just in squares just to simplify things. But yeah, they're 15 feet tall. So, if 100 feet is one square, they wouldn't be 2 squares tall. It's just to kind of show you guys, so they stick out a little bit. You see the big guys. They function differently than a unit. There's only one of them. And basically they work to reduce the battle ranking of groups of units just by smashing them with their hammer or throwing rocks or whatever. Now, one cool thing you do deduce, nice, by saying you communicate telepathically with them, by more than just pointing around, you are telling them this, and you hear one of them say, "We hide in rocks good. No can see if we not move."
Okay.
And then, as he says that, you see he stops moving his body, and he almost disappears into the rocks before you. You're like, "Oh shoot, yeah." And then you see a face, but don't you always see a face when you look at rocks? Is that just me?
Yeah. And then I'd like to communicate to the silent G's, because I'm getting this vibe that these gnomes are a little hive-mindy. So even though I normally can only communicate one-on-one, I'm just kind of like, all right, fuck it. Follow me. Stay at the bottom of the mountain.
They're all like, "The claw!"
Yeah, right? I just tell them to get in the tree line at the bottom of the mountain here.
All right, so you want them kind of on the south side of this mountain? Or
on
your
the
side,
north,
but on the other end?
I'm trying to ping it, but it won't. So like one square up and to the left of where Divit is.
Okay, cool. So still on this side, but kind of at the foot of the mountain on the bend down there.
Yeah, so that they could possibly be obscured from an oncoming force, but are, where I can see them.
Cool. And then the last of your stone giants here, is that where you wanted him? Just kind of like squat in the middle, or?
I'd love for him to just be like leaning up against the, like sitting on the front gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see him and Curie. You've noticed that through all of this, Curie has actually Sir Curie has just been sitting cross-legged with his blade. This long golden sword that has this dragon claw thing at the bottom that holds onto this yellow stone. And he's pretty much just been like staring intently at his weapon, preparing it for battle. But he's let you guys take the reins on this for whatever reason.
He gets it. He gets it.
But it looks like he's preparing for something more intense than it seems even you. You're picking up a weird vibe from, like, he looks, like there's an army of 100,000 coming or something. It looks like he's preparing for something within himself. I don't want to make you guys nervous that there's 100,000 people coming. There's not. But he is very clearly preparing for something that is a culmination of him. You know, it's like there is a detachment that you've only seen in the most dedicated of warriors and the oldest of generals. You know, it's like each of you almost wants to talk to him, but he's in such a focus preparing his blade. You see him flexing his muscles and shifting in his armor as this just preparing for whatever is to come.
He's like the dude backstage with headphones on, like pounding out a bunch of like push-ups, like, and you're like, okay, all right, yeah, no,
thing, bro.
I was just gonna ask, yeah, it was just, we have 15 yeah, 15 to place.
He's
Wow.
like, thank you.
Just headphones in. I love them. I'm here for it. I also wanted to just quickly make sure that I said out loud that I am going to. Is it cool that I'm riding Brian this whole time?
Yeah, so I just want you to know there is a little Brian hanging up over here in the top left in case you ever need just to use the Brian token. He would only be one square, he wouldn't be two. That's kind of why I pulled him off. He's just kind of part of the U unit, you know, so it's you know, your dudes and you. Now, each of you guys, just again, a little foresight, just so you know, in this action, the initiative order is based on the battle ranking of each of the troops. But on your troops' turns, you guys will each get what we're going to call an epic opportunity. So at each of these epic opportunities, and this is again, I'm not giving you like, here's a list of 3 things, and if you do these things, here are the bonuses you get. I am basing this entirely on the creativity and vision of your own epic spirits to take the helm and do things a little bigger than the rules of D&D may normally apply. So in this sense, you know, think about each turn is more like a minute, so you would be doing 10 things. I don't mind if we pepper up the moments of these epic turns, because again, your army's outnumbered. There's only one way that you guys are going to win this, and that is through some kind of Herculean epic effort from the 5 of you, the heroes that somehow managed to be here at this time, at this point. Again, all these things, they always seem to add up a little too smooth, a little too crisply, like man, if you'd taken a left turn on one of these roads, where would you be now, you know? So but yeah, you guys, you will have the opportunities for these epic flurries, these epic opportunities. So yeah, that's basically the setup there. Any questions before we actually go into the war mechanic? Hit me.
Is there a list, however, of things that we can do to know what the battle perks are?
I'm sorry,
doing
for what?
epic shit? You said there is no list of epic shit like 1, 2, or 3 that you can do, but is there a list? Like, so we don't have to be
Okay, show me the list.
Just
like,
go, like,
think of
brain
the
versus
dopest movie
brain.
you can, like John Wicket. You know what I mean? Like that's what's the best thing about D&D. If anybody at home is ever wondering, like, how do I do epic things? You take it from somebody else. You Luke Skywalker your way through a Boba Fett fight, and then you ride a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and you eat Jaws. You know what I mean? Like, it's like all of that's it. That's all you gotta do. And I will never. I'll be like, wait, that kind of seemed like Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones. No, I won't do that, because Khal Drogo was dope, and of course I want to think about him right now in this fantasy setting. I can't wait to do some Khal Drogo shit on the battlefield. So yeah, that's your list.
man.
Your list is all of pop culture. Steal liberally and use it as much as you want.
Think big, baby.
You know what? We are actually close enough. So I'm going to do any other questions or anything before we shift into the next phase. Hit me, Rial. You guys didn't know I had that magic, did you? I was like, Rial, and then he froze. He's back. What's up, baby?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, am I good? All good? Yeah, we were touch time. The silent image stone giant.
Yeah.
Now that we have the big boys placed, because he's basically a decoy. I mean, it's a quiet, like, still image. I just want it to be something that they gaze on. And usually, I mean, most creatures see right to left. So I'm just going to put it opposite of the mountain where Divit's at.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to drop another little giant right there. Boop.
There he is.
And he's just not going to have any stat. I'm just going to get rid of his battle ranking. Boom. Sweet. All right. Any other stuff? So yeah, you project the silent image. Go ahead and cast that spell. I just want to see if there's any strange caveats that I'm not incorporating. I want to make this pretty fluid. He said after like describing this for 45 minutes.
So glad someone else heard that. That's what you do, use.
That's what you do to dudes. Damn it, I love it. Oh my god, it's so good.
About died.
All right, so you create the image. It's a 15-foot cube. We talked about the height. That's perfect. It actually stands equally in image. It's the same as the one that you practiced at the arrival of Sir Curie in the Sesh before. It's purely visual, makes no sound, smell, or sensory effects, and you can use your action to cause it to move to any spot within your range. We'll just kind of keep it within that 3 squares of movement template for this. As it moves, you can alter its appearance for movements that appear natural for the image. If you create an image of a creature and you move it, you can make it look like it's walking. So yeah, it doesn't just have to like stand and then like a Windows
phase.
98, just like clip, 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 clip.
Oh god, closed again.
So yeah, the creature gets the spell save DC. Yeah, so they get to they can examine the image and see if it's real, but they have to use an action to do so. So again, your character's not like, oh, they must use an action to do that. But you do realize, you're like, man, if they bite this illusion, this thing could be pretty helpful as far as like thinking there's another giant right there. That's a really strong effect for a silent image. Very, very well done.
No, it works this time, especially because the other giants might throw their shit at it, and everybody else is just little melee troops. They have to go all the way up, so we get them to another point if they get out of the fucking lake. So,
and then once the spell is broken to people, they get it. So that's just how it works. So if something throws a rock through it, it would really be the ones that see it. We would play it. We'd let the dice decide how effective or not. But it's like once that spell they realize it's an illusion, they're not going to be like, but maybe, So
right.
Perfect. Freaking A. All right, anything else, guys? You got any other questions or setups, or did everything look pretty good laid out on the map the way that you would like it?
Man, I know I said that I already walked up to the mountain, but can I like do something that I should have done before I walked up
you
the
can
mountain?
always retcon, unless it's like it grants you an immediate thing in the, if it's like, oh, I just was, yeah, I'm always cool with retcons, bro, of course.
All right,
cool
I want to tell the rabbit man how much I respect his fit. Like, his outfit is on fucking point, and I want to throw him an inspiration for it.
What a glamour bard.
You come over and you afford your bardic inspiration to him, and again he's kind of just like focused, like he's staring at 1,000 battlefields at the same time. And you see him just wicking the edge of his golden blade. And you see the little dragon hand at the handle that holds on to the yellow stone as he turns it toward the sky. And you see a beam of sunlight divide the horizon and slice through the purple, pink, and watercolors of the sky. And you watch as where the sword sliced, sunlight begins pushing away, and the sky no longer blue and purple swirling mists of pink, but now just a glowing sun, like the sun itself, burning over this area in front of you. You see he grabs the hilt of his blade, looks up at you, and kind of gives you a nod, Divit. And then you see he jumps into the sky, and in a flash of light, disappears.
Ooh.
The burning sky, the warmth of the sun pushing away this cold radiance, if only for a moment. You hear the horns once more, blasting, coming from down the from this eastern horizon. You feel the ground at your feet begin to shake. You hear the galloping and footsteps and stomps and treads of 1,500 bodies. 5 massive frost giants. And just at the edge of your vision, it's like watching the front of an avalanche spill forward as the snow is pushed forward, but the heat from the sun starts to melt it and little water starts to trickle away at the sides. beyond the melting snow, you finally see the... Sorry. Boom. The armies of Queen Mab
Oh man.
start rolling in. You see the numbers, you know, factoring them all together while you prepared for battle was one thing, but seeing the entire valley blighted with pounding footsteps of your enemy as they move closer and closer to you, behind them a swirling cloud of black and purple smoke, the sun bearing down on you in the sky. And that is where we're picking it up after intermission, guys. We're gonna do this war. Oh my gosh! All right, we are gonna do a 10-minute intermission. We gotta take, hydrate. Make sure that you crit sip. Get your hydrate on. Definitely, I feel this all the time. Make sure you're drinking a lot of water. I don't care if you're smoking it or not. Just make sure you drink a lot of water. It's always good for you. There we go. We have got an amazing intermission. We have these incredible little guys running around at the bottom. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at that little Stream Avatars extension, it works on phones too. It's a little trickier, but if you just go above where the chat is, there's a little SA thing. Push that. You can outfit your little guy, give him some little stuff. And don't forget to get your Doink hat because it's an exclusive Sprite only available tonight. You had to be here tonight to get it. And if you were here, you got it. If you're having problems with it, just ask, I'm sure, Stephanie, who is running the helm tonight, savior of our show, running things for us. She will be manning the Art Hard studio during intermission while I run to the bathroom. So if you guys have any problems or anything, throw it in chat. We freaking love you guys. I am so effing pumped to get back to this and just blow the doors out. We love you. We will be back in 10 minutes for the resolution of the Fey War.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Maybe.
Ooh,
Maybe.
I'm pumped. Are you dudes pumped? Welcome back, buds, to Weed&d, the pot positive live tabletop role-playing experience. When last we left the Ferocious Five, they were preparing for the first great battle of the Fey War. The dark armies of Queen Mab marched on the horizon. They have done all the best they could to prepare in a mere 60 minutes for this battle. And now, it's time for war. He says, and then he pulls up the song that he meant to play when he did that. All right. We jump back in, guys. You see the marching army on the horizon. Like I said, from north to south, the entire valley is filled simply with the mass of these armies. Remember, each of these pictures of a unit, that's 100 of these Spriggan monsters. Again, they appear to be made a little bit out of earth and wood. Each of them has different color accentuations on their little brambles, horns, hooves, and arms. But that's the base of what you're looking at coming at you. They're burning, yellow eyes that stare at you even from 1,000 feet away. Looming with them 5 of these massive frost giants, similar to the one that you saw. Let's see here. Let me make sure I got you all here. Sorry.
Getting ready for battle. Getting ready for battle. Yeah.
All right. So there we go. Sorry. So there we go. These are what you see marching over here on the horizon, and then you've got your large frost giants looming up on the horizon. Not quite as as cutesy, so. But yeah, you see them booming.
Scary.
Big, huge, giant, gray, twisted beards that hang down. They have these giant horned helmets, blue skin. You see them marching on the horizon, similar to the one that you saw the corpse of after having been readily split in half by Thoricus Onyxheart. But these ones, having
It's
both
like that
halves
one,
put together, all now march looming on the horizon. We jump in to initiative. So the frost giants actually go first. You see they don't move super fast. They move 3 squares. They just kind of march right beyond the units here. This one's actually going to go south. And this one takes that position here and moves forward thusly. So you see as the 5 giants begin kind of spreading themselves across. It looks like the one to the north, again, you guys prepared all you could, but you don't know what their movements are going to be like. So this is a big moment where you guys are trying to look for any edge or advantage or, where are they going? What are they doing? Are they following the plan? And you do see that it looks like the thrust of the middle of this army is very interested in this troop of 100 that you have standing with this candy cane at the middle. Beyond that, if you think about looking at it from their point of view, really all they see right now is this 100 troops in the middle, beyond them another 100 further away, with a couple giants looming on the horizon. They don't see the breadth of your forces right now. Certainly, Bruenor, your troops will be more noticeable as they move into position. But for right now, you see as this first minute begins, the big, massive giants take their first move. And then they basically prepare a defense. If anybody comes up on them where they're at, they're going to attack. But that's it. They're done. Stone giants are up. Now, the stone giants are going to be controlled by all of you guys, if anybody has a particular need or want for one or just whatever. But right now, the stone giants go. They are the 2 that are on the mountain are still hidden completely. You have the 1 defender here at the back, and then just a reminder: this one here on the north side of the lake is an illusion casted by Rial.
What's the range on their throwing attack?
I believe it's 5 squares. Let me double check.
That was the exact question I was going to ask.
5 squares. They throw rocks 5 squares, and they actually have an ability to catch rocks too. That hasn't really come into play yet, but they do.
Well, I'd imagine that we just hold steady. I know that that's a group thing, but
Divit, you're kind of on the ridge with the 2 of them. You see, you're kind of looking at the rocks around you, not really sure where they are, and then you see one of their heads turn. He kind of looks at you with his eyes and gives you the nod that he understands to, stay down, stay and wait. If that's it, Silent G's, Divit, your posse is up. You settle with the giants and you look down. You see the Silent G's still hanging out at the base formation of the mountain. You guys, is that still the plan? Just hold steady?
yeah, I tell them to stay put but be on guard.
Now you have them kind of hidden. You did state that they were like at the base of the mountain behind some trees, so I will grant them like right now they're not really seen until they actively start looking for people. Again, you see this swirling black and shadowy cloud kind of blooming behind them. You know, the mist of this Queen Mab kind of blowing through in the valley beyond. So at that point, Divit, if you're done, or no, actually, you have an epic moment, an epic opportunity here. If there was anything you wanted to do.
Yeah, okay, so I don't think I'm gonna get another opportunity where there are this many of them that close together. Right?
That's true.
So, from my spot atop the mountain, I'm gonna call forth as much energy as I can, and I'm gonna look at the biggest, baddest frost giant they have standing in the middle of a bunch of their troops. And I'm gonna hit him right in the I'm gonna hit him right in the fucking Tchaikovskys with Shatter, and I want it to be like the fucking spirit bomb of Shatters, like on this guy's junk.
All right. So the just again, I just want to get the D&D of it across to you. So because these squares are so large, each one of these squares has 100 troops and stuff. If you target the giant, it'll pretty much hit the giant. It won't do a ton to the people around him. You know, it's like the area of effect spells don't quite have quite as wide a range as they would, but it would definitely toll up that giant right there, and it would create an area of difficult terrain as well. So, you know, if you wanted to, that's the only reason I want to tell you that. If you wanted to lean it a little closer to the front so it's harder for the ones behind it to walk through, I think you might get the most bang for your buck out of it that way. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't cover like 6 squares like it would on a normal map.
All right, yeah, all right. So the ballsy one out front.
Dope. Okay.
Wait, not the one on the bottom up front, or the one?
Which one? This one, or there we go.
One up front, that one?
This guy here?
Okay, because
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
front.
if you did the bottom one, that pretty much closes off that pass or makes it super difficult terrain.
Can I see him? I guess I could.
So I'm gonna grant him the same benefit, Divot, that we're giving your troops in this moment. I don't know that you could hit him. You could target the ground in that pass if you want to make a block of difficult terrain, kind of make it less appealing to go down south. If you want.
Okay, here's what I want to do. I want to shatter that mountain and have it fucking avalanche on him.
No! Fucking of course you do. All right.
So, Divot, much like one of the thumbnails of Real Gus in action that we have, you take a long horn and put your foot at the top of this little mountain that you stand on, and you pull out this horn, you know, that would normally, you know, maybe be about this size, but just through the sheer magic and your connection to this Fey around you, it's this giant, long, just booming golden horn, and you just blow this epic loud note, almost in opposition to the great blowing horns of their army. You see as the mountain you describe here to the southeast, you know, down here by that normal pass, starts shaking with the vibration of the magic. You watch as the pink mist in the air focuses on that single point and comes crashing down. And the mountain makes a saving throw. That's always fun. Mountain saving throws.
Only here, folks.
Failed. Yes. All right. So Divot,
Those mountain saving throws.
you watch as the pink mist, you know, almost like a fist or a hammer, slams into the top of this little mini mountain here, and it basically just blows the whole top like 20 feet off. And you see as the pink mist mixes in with the snow, and it's this avalanche of magic and sound and color that just washes down and completely closes off the southern pass. The frost giant that is standing there loses a battle rank. Boom. Still alive, still quite strong, but for one, he's also standing in difficult terrain, so it's going to take him a while to dig himself out. And this little southern pass here, just on the farther side of the map here, where this frost giant's standing, that pathway is now completely closed off, forcing these bottom troops to either move straight or go north. Dope.
Nice.
Botchas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Let me just drop this thing down there. Sorry, I have some cool little effects. I'm going to use them, dang it. All right, so awesome. So yes, this little area here that's like with this little purple circle is difficult terrain. So that giant is probably stuck for a little bit, and you've stopped troops advancing. Dope epic moment there, Divit.
Yeah.
All right, boom. Now it is the Spriggans. So they move much quicker than their giant allies, and you see kind of just as this great force of about, like I said, about 1,600 of them start charging forward. They seem to be biting into your hook a little bit here. You know, Thoricus, you kind of breathe a happy sigh as you watch the bulk of the army moving forward toward, this ice lake area. Some of them, however, do start following up with in the back ranks. About 400 of them pair up with this frost giant in the north, and they seem to be like they're gonna go kind of around this mountain through this northern pass near the trees. But that's all they have. They don't have ranged attacks. Their little bonus you won't be privy to until you see it in action. And so that's the end of the Spriggans. Powder up north. Rial, you look as you see kind of around that mountain bend, the looming footsteps of this giant frost giant, and quite about 400 or 500 of these Spriggans headed up around that mountain.
Right. And I definitely want our unit to hide. I want to stay hidden. We have like an opportune spot where we see the lake and we see the pass, and I don't want them to see us. So,
you look to your left, and you've trained them so you know where to look, but for a moment you have to almost unfocus your vision before you can even see them. So apt and stealthy, taking to this so quickly. You look to your right, and then you see a slit open almost out of nowhere. Powder with his little ice picks and his white cape. Powder, and he points, does a little one of these, and then like a puff of snow disappears.
Beautiful. There he goes.
Which brings us to the no. Oh no, your epic opportunity, Rial. Anything you want to do in this moment?
Oh, I may have some weird Rial shit.
Rial's weird shit. I still have to
Rial's
make that sound effect.
weird
I'm gonna remember to do that. What is it? What was it? Rial. I can't remember. Weird thoughts with Rial. Weird shit with Rial. Fuck, I forget.
Weird shit with Rial for sure.
Gonna do some weird shit.
I kind of wanted to come up with my own thing too. It's like, welcome to Thoricus's cooking corner. Can you eat it? Then who gives a fuck?
Gives a fuck.
Oh my god. Oh, all right. So yeah, the powder up north continues hiding, and then Rial, you step up for your epic opportunity.
Well, this kind of reminds me of the last time we saw somebody so big. So the stone giant furthest, like at the top of the map, furthest north. I want to cast Tasha's hideous laughter on him.
Nice. Okay.
That's epic.
Which save is that? I have too many menus open right now.
It checks my epic box.
I'll go ahead and cast it real fast. I'm pretty sure, I'll double check, but I think I have a DC 15 spell save.
Sweet.
Let me just confirm that. Spell save DC is 13.
Okay, cool. So 20, and which kind of save? And is it? He does have a 10 intelligence, so he gets +0 to this roll, and it's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, they gotta get. Ooh.
Boom. So here we go. Ooh, 15. He passes.
Damn it!
You rile up the madness of this Fey energy, and you kind of weave your hands together, and still trying to keep your focus behind you on the giant that you're holding as a silent image. Kind of stepping beyond the realms of normal magic. You attempt to weave these two spells at once, but you feel, as you're starting to focus on Tasha's, you're losing your focus on the giant, and thinking better of which one of these two things right now helps you the most. You kind of let Tasha's slip out, recapture your focus. Maybe the illusion shimmers for a second, but you don't think anybody caught on.
Oh, let's hope not. No, it's definitely priority to have that there as a decoy. Bummer. Maybe next time. That's war,
Dice,
kids.
the damn dice. That's why it's called an epic opportunity.
Exactly. Other than that, I'm just gonna stay hunkered down with my boys, with Powder and the boys, and
Posting
we'll
down.
see what happens next.
You just hear the pop of snow like powder all around you as your army appears to disappear like you do, have done in so many crowds before. Thoricus, you and the Gnome Reavers are up. You also have, I just wanted you to know, Thoricus, you have the signal to Rivet. So Rivet's just kind of waiting for you. I just wanted you to know that, because that's why I put a red box on him. He's kind of waiting for you to tell him what to do with that ballista.
Oh.
He knows to shoot the thing, like you gave him the plans. I just mean he's waiting for you to actually fire.
Red box. Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, Thoricus, you stand, on the far western side of this frozen ice lake that, you guys have some plans built around. You feel the cold of this ice. It permeates even through the metal of your boots. Not the kind of mountains that you like spending most of your time in. Cool Mara, a very temperate region. And you've always preferred, not the highest part of the mountain, but the deepest part of the mountain. And so, this snow and this battlefield, although much better than the last battlefield that you were on, you're still looking around, and it's almost like Sherlock Holmes. Like everything you look at, you're catching a detail. The ice seems thick, but not too thick. You're thinking, trying to evaluate how big a hole is it going to leave in the ice? When do I do it? Do I let him push past? You're running all these things in your mind as your turn pops. What do you do?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't doing that at all.
Like,
even in real life, I wasn't doing that.
That's all Drew ever does to me. He's looking at me.
No. Well, okay. The thing I was going to ask before it was actually my turn was, does Rial and the Powder up north, do they still have like an action, or did they do that with his epic opportunity?
They would still have an action, yes.
Because don't they have? Didn't he teach them how to do ranged attacks, or is that too far of a ranged attack?
Yeah, they only have 3 squares because they're throwing ice picks. They don't have like bows, so they're just throwing ice picks. So they can only go 3 squares.
Gotcha. All right. I just
brother.
I'm saying something about a ranged attack. I'm like, well, they are.
Yeah, they didn't
ranged.
have bows or anything. That could have been, in prep, you guys could have made bows instead. But we went the ice pick route, so I gave you, just so you know, Rial, I gave you like a 3 square. They.
Okay.
Again, it's all aided with magic and stuff, so because they're magical little creatures.
Okay, so, with that being said, could I Rocky Talkie my best friend and tell him to move that hologram, because it can't actually pick anything up or attack or anything like that, right? It's just but it can move.
Yeah.
So with that action that his team didn't use, could he move that fake giant also kind of towards the middle of the lake to more entice the troops on their side, instead of going up and around being like, oh, well, there's this brightly colored white and red unit that we don't know anything about, that's just like, what are they doing out there?
Mm-hmm.
But then also now there's this
he can move 3 squares
giant.
if you would like
So
to. You have
For
Rocky
sure.
Talkies, so that's totally like you just tap into best friend. Yeah, he can move up to 3 squares.
only
Ooh,
3.
yeah.
Damn.
Where should we move him though? Just a little closer, like kind of behind you at this point?
Yeah, just above me, I guess, on the map for now. And then if he can move diagonals, then he would technically be able to be there on the next move
He can.
if you did that.
Just start getting him like, deeper. deep
So
in the
he'd be
lake.
like
That works.
right here now, and then next move he could be here, and then maybe by the time they get, he could be like here or something.
Sweet. Fuck yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Sorry.
All right, I don't know if I actually gave you guys control over the giants, so I'm gonna move them.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Boom. Right
Good plan,
there,
best
we're
friend.
right there, right?
Well, that's fine too. That also works. I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
Love
So
it.
yeah, Rial, you managed to move him forward after the lapse of your magic for a moment, trying to control him at the same time, and then move him forward. The Gnome Reavers are up. What are you doing, Drew?
Okay, so we are going to hold our ground, and I would like to.
You see Doink standing
talk-
next to you, just like like trying to offer you battle advice with his sticky hands and his rolling pin. He just looks at you and he's like, doink!
Right. Of course. Do you want to expound on that, or...
Doink!
I'll just go. I'll just go then. I got fucking doink. I got doink. Alright, it's fine. So anyway, yes, while we're not going to move, I will take my, I guess their action to spread them out formation-wise into kind of a flying V, if you will, Mighty Duck style, around these areas. Oh, hold on.
So they all stay in
the
one
edge of the
square.
lake.
It's like just the convention of how it works. But yeah, it's like they take up that 100 feet. You can't split them apart.
You're telling the guy who has split.
You're like, I would do it all the time.
In twain.
Yeah.
That I split them apart.
You're really good at splitting things
Challenge
apart.
accepted. I'm killing my own unit, guys.
Yeah, it's kind of the
I
convention
can't
of this
split
map
them
battle, but yeah, it's your troops they all stay. It's the clunkiness of this not being like Warhammer where there's a million rules for it. They stay together in a unit.
You know what? I will take that hit to not have a million rules. Because
Warhammer's dope, but yeah, it would be there's like a whole lot more rules.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want that many rules. So, all right, we will stay here and we will Buraka Haka. Do a little performance. Ugh.
All right, give me a performance check.
Woo!
You can do a performance strength check. I'm down with it if you want to like use your strength stat instead.
I can't believe I didn't even think about that. I mean, Haka and Buraka. I was like the Buraka Haka.
The Buraka
like,
Haka, babe.
Makes sense. What do you say? Performance?
Oh!
20.
Whoa,
Damn!
Oh wait. Yeah. Listen.
Yes.
22.
Ooh, do that Haka that you rocka so well. All right, so this works. Thoricus, you start getting the Gnome Reavers going. You know, again, you can't really see it in this picture, but they have that little glint of mischief in their eyes that the other ones lack. And you start them, start beating on your chest, showing the power of this thing they're about to engage in. And again, they're just like transfixed on you. Clearly, some of them, know of your legacy, have heard of you before. And in this moment, they start getting into it. Again, still not really understanding exactly what they're doing, but they start getting into it. We are going to grant the Gnome Reavers an additional morale point. So they go up, and then, as is the power of a good Haka, this front line of the 500 here in the front of Spriggans, they're gonna make saves. 2, 4, 5. All right, most of them did pretty good, but 2 of them are so thrown off. Again, even though these Spriggans seem to be a little more adept at killing, a war, is not something that happens here. So this show of strength, this unity, Thoricus, that you show with your troops, goes about reducing the battle rank through weakening the morale of your enemies while bolstering your troops at the same time. And that was your epic moment. You almost step too hard. You feel the ice underneath your feet as you really plant your strong, thick dwarven leg into the ground. You feel it shift a little under your foot. You're like, whoop, hawking out a little too hard.
Not that hard, guys. Maybe not that hard. But just feel it out. Just feel it out. You guys got it.
The Reavers look ready. Which brings us to Chyea Bois.
It's all in hip. Chyea Bois.
Chyea Bois.
All right. And Chyea Bois.
It's all in the crits.
So let's see. It's all in the crits. Thoricus. Yes.
All in the crits.
All in them crits.
4 crits.
So I would like Chyea Bois to take a defensive stance. I want them to have their shields in the snow, and I would like them to kind of Thoricus's troop of Gnome Reavers are kind of taking the attention there. They're making noise, they're making sound. So I want us to kind of try to blend into the environment a little bit more because we're going to hold the line until these bad guys can get onto that lake. Am I right? Jaw! Cool. All right.
Yeah, so do you want to use your, do you want to have them hide, or do you want to have them do like a phalanx? Because you can't hide. They just don't. They don't have advantage like the other troop does, but they could hide too if you wanted.
Right. I want them to hide because they're still not close enough yet.
Okay, cool. Just roll a d20. They have a flat out. They don't have modifiers. They just have.
Oh, they don't even have. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I'll just do it. Try hide and bull.
You get advantage, so roll 2 because again, you're not actually being watched right now. So this will just factor in. Ooh, there we go. Oh, 14. Not bad. Let me check.
Good hashtag. Good enough. I'm thinking they could put their shields down and kind of hide behind them, kind of brush some snow up on it, so that they're just a little bit less visible.
Like, camouflagey a little bit, like make a front and then a top, and then cover it with snow, and then it just looks like a big fucking snowbank.
Awesome.
But it's like a no bank.
Mm.
It is a new bank.
He's a bad brother.
And then I am also riding Brian like a snowboard. I'm kind of like, we're kicked off and we're on, like, I'm on him and he's like snaking through and his wings are kind of giving him that extra like, shoot, shoot, shoot. He's getting like extra, yeah, it's kind of like swimming through the powder and we're just kind of like making our way through. And whenever I stop, I kind of like, I like shred and I like, when I throw snow on people because I'm like, it's like, I'm a cool guy, but I'm also kind of like the mountain bully. I'm like, ha! And then I like, every time I like leave, everyone just gets covered in snow. Yeah.
Yeah, you glide on Brian with magical alacrity. You shift around. Normally, on a snowboard, you need to be going downhill, but with Brian's wings, he's able to just propel you forward. You start shooting through the ice. Showing off a little bit. You showboat off a little hill with maybe a drag-a-dow kickflip. You spin in the air, land on him, land. We are, clearly your troops watching this epic display receive an additional battle rank. Morale boost. All right, boom. So, Bruenor, if that's the end of your turn, we get up to too blessed to be stressed.
Oh, indeed. Yeah, so we're just kind of, first of all, we're going to stay put, wait for the action to drop, hold tight, but I just can't shake this energy around me, this like Feywild energy, and I'm riding this insane high, and I have this realization that these gnomes are builders and they work with natural materials, and what if they could tap into this same energy that I'm able to tap into? So I summon my golden scythe, right? And I try to teach Too Blessed to Be Stressed to summon it themselves, because they're already natural builders, and I want to see if they can mimic it and harness that same protective energy.
All right. Tynna, in your epic opportunity, you step forward and you start, the ground still like gold dust around your feet. You kind of reach down and pass your fingers through it, scooping a little bit of it in your hands for a moment, feeling it in between and letting it fall back to the earth. You kind of call upon this gold energy that now is the root at the base of all of your troops, and you see that root bloom like a plant and then to a fruit, and the fruit is the small spiritual weapon of their own. You're actually surprised it's not a scythe for them. Like, each of them has their own little one, and some of them look no more than toys, or like whatever their extension of what their spiritual weapon would be. You see one guy just has like a cookie, like a golden cookie in his hand. But yes, you've actually managed to in your epic moment. And basically this, again, it all factors into the mechanics, but they will also be bestowed upon an additional morale rank in their battle ranking.
Fuck yeah. I'm with the guy with the golden cookie.
It is now with great joy that I say the following sentence. It is now time for the master bait. I just had to look at it on the screen. All right, Thoricus, they're kind of under your guise. If you have anything you want them to do you want them to stay where they're at? Do you want them to move? They're just kind of like, you see in their... I have to pull it up, I'm sorry. You see them in their little shirts and their no shoes. They're kind of like just sliding their little feet. They almost move like penguins, just like innocent and mindless of the danger. You see they're kind of just looking at this oncoming storm that's running at them with little to no fear at all, just kind of looking back over their shoulder at you for some kind of guidance or command. Anything you want them to do?
Brave gnomes. That storm in the distance is a storm of shoes. Wait for it, and it will bless your feet with the warmth and traction you desire.
They're all slipping their
Smile.
feet. One of them.
Beckon. Summon the storm of shoes. But wait right there in the middle. Very, very close to that candy cane that is 100% not a bomb covered in gnome jizz.
Wait.
Just wait.
100% not that.
Is that canon?
I think it's on the wiki at this point, yeah.
We're going to have to check the wiki.
Just
Just how we're calling it.
The Dicky.
the Dicky.
The Weed&d Dicky. All right.
We should convince the other guys that it's the key to the warehouse, the workshop.
All right, they stand at the ready, eagerly excited for the oncoming onslaught of shoes that they are likely to receive from this strange storm of magic. We're back to the giant frost giants. You see them in a moment as they each try to move forward. You see it's actually them. They have these little strange horns that are like tucked just beneath their beards. And as they move forward, they put their mouth down on it. And with a great billowing wind, they echo out those horn blasts. And you see kind of like rippling black and purple magic coming out of the horn as they blow. Magic which then sweeps back into this trail of purple and black mist that follows the army as they move forward. The Divit, the frost giant that you pretty much stuck in the snow, he has to use half his movement, and it eats the whole thing. So he's stuck, and will have to turn back. This one continues forward. This one as well. The northernmost giant you see kind of just pushing over some of these trees, big puffy powder snow that had been hanging on the pines and leaves, just smashing to the ground in a great flurry. So strong, one of the strongest things you've ever seen, just uprooting a tree with little effort, just kind of pushing it to the side. Thoricus, you're almost like freaking giants. Pretty strong though, those giants. Worthy adversaries to the dwarven people for many a year.
Yeah.
And then this guy's kind of like a sucker for a location to go. So yes, you see the giants continue moving forward, seemingly of their own. One thing that you do notice right now, Thoricus, is you're watching less of a unit advance than a wave of energy. You're like a commander would be telling these people, it's like now that it's clear to you, you'd be like, oh, they shut the southern pass. They want to, it's like there's things that a tactician should be understanding right now that these troops and even the giants themselves do not seem to be privy to. So, you feel a little even more confident in your preparations, and you're like, strange, like that they lack a general, and you're kind of like perusing the line. And then you see in this black swirling purple cloud that trails this army, a sudden like group of black and blue clouds form into this giant 50-foot tall, 5 stories, looming high as some of these mountains nearby. This creature of black and blue crystal ice that just forms out of the shadow. In his hand, a 20-foot long sword that must be 5 feet thick. Just the biggest, cloud strife sword that you've ever seen. As this massive 50-foot creature appears out of the shadow. And then in a flash of bright sunlight, you see Sir Curie drop down from the sky with his yellow and golden sword. And you see the 2 swords clash. And behind the army, you see this orb of sunlight and darkness. And as it spins and as this war continues, in this dome, these 2 are having the most intense sword battle you've ever witnessed. Spinning blades, sparks of sunlight and shadow spilling out of the bowl as these 2 just in a flurry of blows. The types of warriors that legends are written about. The swords striking, dropping, catching, magic bursts of sunlight and fire as these 2 generals, the generals of the summer and winter court, meet in combat at last. All right, so
Rabbits
now
got
it's the
pops.
stone giant's turns.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh.
Our first war, guys.
Wow.
My first one.
Y'all still want to hold tight?
I mean, if Brandon's gonna keep doing that every time, fuck yeah. Let's just sit back and watch. Holy shit.
Heart's pounding. All right. All right, so stone giants are chilling. What about the silent G's? Are you guys still just gonna keep up on your post? Let them kind of keep coming in?
Yeah, I think they're still gonna post up. Do I get to?
Epic opportunity.
Okay. All right. So that was crazy, and watching him come down from the sky got me looking at the sky, and I'm noticing that it's like a lot of like pink and purple swirling mist, and I see all the mist up there, and I get this weird idea all of a sudden. So
What are you gonna do?
I basically want to use my Eldritch Blast, and I want to use, because it's a 2-parter, so I want to use one to hit the sky above me and try to charge the like massive cloud, and then I want the second one to be it raining down on the troops.
All right. Yeah, epic moment. So, Divit, you step up.
Yeah.
You kind of summon the first blast of energy, and you look up, and you can watch. I mean, the sky is literally divided into 3 parts. You have the purple and blue swirling mist on either side, and then this big burning ball of sunlight just in the center of the sky. And rather than connect to the sun or warmth, you reach your hands out to the cold, darkness that you're so familiar with at this point, reaching your hands almost into the cosmos, both on either side of you. Drawing this energy, you shoot your first Eldritch Blast directly into the sun. And at first it looks like it just absorbs it. And then you watch a ripple in the surface of this burning star. And as the ripple pops out, basically like a pimple, it just splatters out all this green eldritch energy. It scatters. Now, it's not super accurate, so I'm not gonna, it's not gonna hit everybody, but I am gonna let you roll. And so this big dripping splash of searing hot eldritch energy rains from the sky in the direction of the armies. You're gonna roll for me, give me a D10. 1d10.
All right.
It's gonna be a percentage. Watch.
All right.
It's actually, it's just a flat number. Whatever you do, that's how many enemies are going to be. I'm going to give you, it could be really big, or, you could roll a 1. Oh, 10! Dope.
Sweet.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
that's so dumb. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is easy. Okay, cool. So Yeah, you see basically the front end of this whole army gets their face seared off. You see a couple of these Spriggans just drop, and when they like die, it seems more like they just reabsorb into the earth around them. So again, there's 100 people for each one of these guys, so some of them dying is just the narrative function of their battle ranking going down. But you do see as the ones that are just like blasted in the face with the sun eldritch energy just dripping down from the sky on them and searing them badly. Some of them do manage to drop, and as they drop, again, they just kind of dissolve into the earth around them. There's not like a corpse left.
That was a crit, though, right? For a D10, that's the highest you can get.
You know what, Drew? We can't get into the habit of whenever we roll the highest number on a dice, we smoke.
That was an epic.
Because we gotta keep the D&D going. But in this case, that was so epic that I'm gonna call it a crit.
Whoa. Yeah. We did that for Christmas.
Oh no!
Yeah. It's green, in Roll20, it makes the number green when it's the highest. So it pops out, it makes you want to smoke some green. I'm with it, Thoricus. You won me over with your silver tone.
You rolled high on charisma, baby.
You passed. That was a real life charisma check and you passed. Dope. Divit, I think that's probably enough cool for you.
Yeah.
No.
Is that enough? Is that enough? Yeah. All right, cool. Sorry, it took a little while because you rolled 10. So yes, the Silent G's just continue to post up following the plan. We now watch as the Spriggans go. Forward. This is really exciting. You do see this group that's kind of following this frost giant to the north, going around this mountain pass, kind of toward the trees where you and the powder up north are posted up. Rial, you feel the hair standing up on the back of your neck, like watching a rabbit step into a snare trap. It's like these fools. They're, it's like you're walking right into the teeth of this side of the attack. That is the end of their movement there. This whole group is going to follow suit with the leaders and scoot forward. A lot of the guys that were damaged, you see they kind of reach near the end of the ice. The front one is actually kind of starting to stand on it. And noticing that your troops... Well, let's see. Yeah, they rolled a 15. That your troops are not advancing in this case. You see they seem to stop rather than keep moving forward. That one giant to the far southeast, he's pretty much just like hanging out in this avalanche mountain by himself. It's going to be a while till he can be a part of the dance. But you see as the whole position pretty much moves forward. Now, a good majority of them are funneling in towards the center, toward this lake. But you do see the most forward troops are stopping at the edge of the lake. After kind of looking at what's happening. The ones to the north, the 400 plus the giant that are headed around that northern pass, seem content to continue moving forward and don't show the same hesitation. That's the end of the Spriggans. Powder up north, what do you do?
Like you said, they're walking right into the jaws of the wolf, and they're within range of my boys who are hidden.
That's true, so they get advantage on their attack. Again, this is competing. It's just like a normal fight. It's competing battle ranking checks. So they're going to make one. So I'll tell you what they rolled so that you know what you need to beat. They got rolled a 4 plus 7. So they have an 11 on their battle ranking check. Now, if you beat them by 11 or more, you reduce their battle ranking by 5, and then they have to make a morale check or run away. If you beat them by 10 or less, they just lose 2 off their battle ranking. So 10 plus... You also have advantage, 7. Don't forget.
Yeah, we got a 17 just based off of that in the battle ranking.
So that'll beat him at the very least. So yeah, that'll beat him. So you're gonna at the very least do that. But you do have advantage. So do you want to roll? Maybe you get a crit with your advantage.
Right. Yeah, that sounds great.
Just in case.
Give it another roll again.
Yeah, just do another d20. Okay, so 10 was your best anyway. So yeah. 10 plus their battle ranking, which is 7, is 17. So you beat them. You didn't beat them by more than 11, so they just lose 2 off their battle ranking, which is already a 5. So they're at a 3. Okay, so that unit is pretty tore up. You know, from the trees, you basically just hear a whir of 1,000 little tiny ice picks, and it's like the trees themselves are shooting these needles at these Spriggans as they approach. But yeah, you wrecked that group pretty good. They're below half strength. You know, they seem to be in bad condition and bleeding.
Well, nice. Turned out better than last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
They did what you trained them for, buddy.
Yeah, baby.
Baby. All right, so Powder Up North, did you want them to move at all?
You know, I'm not sure. Their range is a little.
Hidden though, right? Like those units didn't see like what shot them. They just know that they just got shot.
So yeah, once you attack from hiding, they do see. I was just trying to make it cool for the narrative. But yeah, they're not hidden anymore. They have a function built into them where if they're a certain amount away from people, they can hide in trees and stuff with advantage. Oh, you are in the trees, so I think they get advantage on their stealth anyway.
Nice. All right. Yeah, if it's a matter of that, just like, boop. Just scoot him just a little bit. He's fine.
Perfect. So yeah, you just kind of withdraw into the trees even more. Like if they're going to come chase you, they're going to have to go through hard terrain. You know, the trees are difficult terrain, so it's harder for them to move through. Sweet.
Oh.
Rial, your epic opportunity.
Man, after last time, it's bummed. There's just a lot going on in the head of Rial where I would think with this revelation that really took it out of me a lot. I'm like, well, if I'm a creature of Fey magic, maybe I've got more of an access to it. Didn't quite work, but usually the bow works pretty damn good.
Daughter of Ash slides to your side.
We'll get some Daughter of Ash out there and see if that does any better.
Yeah, basically the way it's going to work is if you're going to use your round, you know, again, think of it like a minute. Rial, if you want to rain arrows down on these guys, you're going to get, I'm going to give you 5 attacks. Do 5 arrow shots. Each one of them having the potential, they have a 15 AC, each having a potential to do 1 battle rank of damage. So you could just light these dudes up, just like shoot a bunch of arrows in the sky all at the same time.
That sounds wonderful.
Epic moments, man. Do some Legolas stuff, like throw like 5 of them on and just launch them all at the same time.
Oh, what do you need me to roll for that? For
just do 4 more Daughter of Ash attacks.
Okay, dope. And a 3. And a 4. And a 5.
Well, you were hidden too, so you'd be attacking from stealth. So you missed the first one, hit the second, hit the third, hit the fourth, hit the fifth. Rial, you actually successfully, like, you shoot up basically a hail of arrows. Like, from their vision, they look up in the sky, and there's this bright burning sun, but there's a shadow for a moment. And it's because you've managed to just, like, you're literally, like, grabbing brambles off of the tree and shooting arrows, and it's just the weave of Fey magic around you just allows you to shoot this impressive display of arrows into the sky. This one here that was at 3, you completely lit up and is gone. You see the arrows, they almost don't even stop. They shoot straight through them and you just watch as their bodies fall into mush. A little bit of the black smoke and mist dissolves back into the orb battle between the 2 guardians. You see the swords in a flurry swinging, flashes of shadow, flashes of light. But yeah, these ones here are out. And then you did manage to pop this other group back here with the 4th attack to bring them down as well. They're not below half, but they have been tuned up pretty good. So nice, epic opportunity.
Woo!
Rad.
Nice.
You would technically, do you want to use your bonus action to hide again? Because you would get your cunning action. I was thinking about it. That would probably not be clear in the mechanics, but yeah, you could use your bonus action to do a cunning action for sure.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was available, so thank you. Thank you for confirming that.
Yeah.
Dope.
Stealth 27, yeah. Very well.
That'll do.
Not even a crit.
That'll do.
27. Dope. Yeah, Rial, you know, just as you've taught the boys, you even hear a couple like oohs from the trees as you just kind of disappear from sight as you are wont to do.
As long as they silence themselves right after they're like, ooh.
Yeah. You see Powder's eyes.
Aww.
All right, Chyea Bois, what are you guys doing?
Boys.
Chyea Bois. Oh wait, I am before I thought. Yep. Okay, Chyea Bois. Okay, so I'm going to let me see. Okay, so I see that they stopped and they're not getting onto the lake. And so I want to prompt them to move forward to those guys. So I want to yell out, "Oh no! The key to the workshop!" And then like go towards them on the water. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like say it as loud as I can. Like, I hope maybe my friends hear it as well and help me like so that they hear it. Like, but I'm like, oh shit, the key to the workshop, and I'm like going towards the big candy cane explosives.
All right, I'm gonna need a deception check from you, Bruenor.
Okay, I'm gonna try my freaking darndest.
I'll give you advantage if you act it out extremely silly, like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well. Okay, so I'm gonna roll a deception.
All right, yeah, nice. Heck
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Hey. Oh no. The key to the workshop is right over thither. And then I I kick off on Brian and I go towards it and I move that way.
All right, they rolled a 6 on their intelligence check. They bite the bait.
Yes.
You see them all, and they all kind of lean forward. You know, you hear the varying chitters and sounds of whatever language that they are currently speaking, but their focus all drops to a point kind of equidistant between you and the masturbate.
I'm going towards that master bait, baby.
Nice, you're baiting the masturbate. Who is really the masturbator? We'll see.
Aren't we
So
all?
yeah, it's your epic moment. Do you want your boys to stay hidden?
Yes, yeah, I want them to stay hidden. Not yet. They know.
So
Hell
yes,
no.
your fake out seems to have bitten. You see them frothing at the mouth to move forward and apparently maybe retrieve the king. This key. Surely the queen would be thrilled. So yeah, way to go.
Yay.
Too blessed to be stressed. What do you do?
I see too blessed to be stressed in front of me, just harnessing this life force with ease, and it just makes me so proud. And it inspires me. It inspires me actually to do an epic moment, I think. I see trouble coming this way, but it's not time. It's not time to pop out yet. But I've summoned my golden scythe, and I want to set it ablaze because I want it to be extra toasty because I don't like how these things are withering back into the earth. It doesn't give me good vibes, and I want to slice and dice them.
You know, you kind of send your spiritual weapon up into the sun, and you see that searing light shoots a little beam down directly onto your own spiritual weapon, casting it ablaze in the sky. I'll go ahead and give you who do you want to cast this heavenly scythe upon?
I was thinking I would wield this heavenly scythe.
Dope. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Sweetest answer ever.
I
So,
would
yeah,
like some candy.
Gnarly.
You know, yeah, normally it kind of floats around you, but in this case, as this beam of sunlight strikes down, you see your scythe gets superheated and awesome. So yeah, you've got this giant burning star scythe, and you see your troops around you are just like truly inspired yet again, gaining another battle rank, bolstering your blessed troops with your clear divinity. Like there's an unquestionable amount of divinity.
Yeah, and can I cast that as ready that as my action?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess I was a little unclear in
Yeah.
that, but yeah, that's what I intended to do.
I just got so excited I started
Yeah,
jumping in.
no, it's awesome. It's
Yeah, I was so thrilled. I love it. So yeah, you've got that badass, awesome thing. And you want the homies to still just kind of stay down, stay ready, be focused. Yeah, with
we're
the
gonna
troops.
post up because we're waiting for the signal, and we're gonna see everything happen, and then we're gonna protect the workshop. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look
Oh
over
yeah.
the lake
I got tingles. I'm ready.
You see the shimmering image of the illusion that you know you're aware it's an illusion, so you can kind of see the cracks the giant, to the north of Thoricus here at the edge of the ice lake. But you can see that it's like the tension right now, is so high. It's like it's frigid cold outside, but it's such high stakes that's like you can't really feel the air around you. Like it's all based on this. Your whole plan comes down to like the next couple moments. So.
And I look down at Hiccup, and he doesn't look as nervous as he was before.
That's right,
and
man.
He seems a little hardened, actually, but he's my co-pilot in this, and we're in this together.
I had a question. I'm so sorry. Doesn't Hiccup add some sort of a bonus every round to whatever unit?
Oh yeah. Oh geez, I wrote it down.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Plus
Hiccup's
three.
battlefield. He's like the knowledge master. He's got all the scrolls. He knows what's going on. So yeah, he
Well,
can
now
be
he's
a
the High
boon
Master.
and add +2 to a battle ranking. Now that's only for like one full round, so it's +2 until the end of his next turn, where he'll pick another person to do it.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, I didn't know if that meant for like the epic shit that we're trying to do that we might not have rolled so hot on. Like, if he could have added it to that.
No, but Divit's inspiration, however, that D6 you all have from Divit's bardic inspiration, you could add that D6 to any of these battle rolls or checks or anything like that.
Cool.
Definitely.
Sweet.
But we could, for example, like help out the master bait group with like a little bonus, so they stood a fighting chance for a second.
Yes, Tynna. He can basically grant
yes.
them a little +2. So yeah, you see him kind of, not hiccuping as much, but certainly still hiccuping. And then he's like looking at a scroll, and then he kind of looks up at you, and he's like, "What was I doing?" And then you're like, and he's like, "Oh yeah." So he sends a little one of the two blessed to be stressed, kind of just starts taking off in a beeline. You can see it's the fastest of his agents, starts running up to bring some kind of tiding to the master base and grant them. You want to grant them the temporary +2?
Yes, absolutely.
Sweet. So I'm gonna put that in the blue box.
And I boom my voice so that we can still communicate back and forth to them across the wind, so there's no disturbances in our con,
Dope. Heck yeah, totally works. The master bait. We zoom into them. Thoricus, you see them still kind of just like looking around, standing by the giant candy cane, just like
Happy to be here.
they're like, Oh, sorry, dropped it. Picks the sword back up. Little bare feet. You hear 100 little sounds like sneakers in a gym on the ice, just like squeak, squeak.
Yep.
Do you want him to do anything?
Wait, me?
Yeah, you kind of control them.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they got a +2 to something, right? Morale or?
Yeah, they got a temporary +2 bonus from Hiccup's battlefield tactician skill.
Did that
Tell
make
him to talk shit.
I was gonna say, did that make them any more like able to understand kind of how challenges and beef and hype and all that shit kind of works? Been like, I kind of wanted them to feel the buraka haka, be like,
He's hardened from
Yes.
feeling the ganja, you know.
You got the
I
two
feel like
blessed
he's
to be
feeling the
stressed.
Fey
You got
magic,
Thoricus
you
coming
know?
at you.
candy cane.
Yeah.
You
And
beat me. You got
Key
me.
to the city. This ain't a key to the city. This is a bomb covered in gnome jizz. But I get what you're doing, Bruenor. Okay. Now you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
not so closely
they
connected
broke.
to you where they are able to recreate it and have the demoralizing effect on the enemy. They have their own version of it, which is basically them squeaking their feet on the ice, dreaming of the shoes that will be theirs soon.
Very
And so you see their slippery, shoeless feet on this cold, bitter ice that just bites at the toes. And they start sliding their feet back and forth. But sure, Thoricus, you grant them through your own, you're trying to teach them what your boys are doing. They're not, there's a reason they were left in the last 100 when you guys were divvying out 100 at a time, so they're doing their own,
Beyond
they're
time.
doing their own thing.
That's all I'm gonna say. Just be on time.
But he gets a bonus.
You don't get put in that group.
So they're actually pretty dope right now. They're just so you guys are aware, they're beefed up to an 8 right now.
Ooh.
Yay!
Temporarily, it'll be a 6 after Hiccup's next turn. But yeah, all right, cool. So do you want them to do anything, or is that it?
No, just sit there and dream, boys. Shoes are on their way. I guarantee it.
All right.
These
Nutcrackers. I don't know
Fancy
why it
the way
says
you
Nutcracker.
look.
I couldn't get it to
This
not
is
say
a bad
Nutcracker. All right. So yeah, we're back at the top of our initiative. You know, you see Rivet kind of looking down. Thoricus, you look over your shoulder at him, and you see he's just like looking over at that candy cane from afar, just waiting for whatever signal will be. It says Nutcracker, and it will always say Nutcracker no matter what I do. I tried a million things, it still says Nutcracker. But they're Frost Giants. The Frost Giants go. They continue moving forward in their advance, and you see your ruse, Bruenor, has worked. As the big, giant, massive Frost Giant steps on this lake of frozen ice, you know, liquid and nitrogen blue, just vividly blue ice. Kind of matches the skin of the Frost Giant now that I'm looking at it. As he's walking forward, you know, you see the ice cracks a little bit, but not so much that it's, you know, it's like breaking under his feet, but they are significantly large creatures. And you watch the others kind of trapped behind their own ranks, unable to push beyond too much of their own troops. Kind of the hindrance of them all stopping the way that they had. So they're done. Stone Giants are up.
I'm so sorry. You asked me if you wanted me to do anything with that unit. Could I? No, it's fine. I fucked up. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna deal with
Yeah.
it. I fucked.
It's alright.
It's fine.
It's
You see
okay.
they're all just kind of looking at this giant as he steps onto the lake like, all right.
We'll do better next time.
Yep. Exactly. I'll do better
Yeah.
next time.
We got it. We got
Stone
this.
Giants. Are they doing anything?
I think they should hold tight, right, y'all?
Hold the line.
They're not in
Right.
range. We don't want them to give away their location.
Yeah, your two are hidden, right?
Yeah.
So there's just the actual real one that's right in front of the gate, like leaning on it, been like, "What's up? You guys want my walls? They're super thorny." And then the other one's fake.
Yeah.
And I guess, like, could he also be doing the Buraka Haka with us, like, but a fake stone giant, just like getting into it,
Real.
joining that height? Is that a possibility?
You affected the unit in front of you, so we'll just keep it that way. The one chilling back by the gate, he's just kind of like, he's in the zone with Rivet. They're just like ready to hold down the fort.
Literally. Nice.
Okay.
You could have the illusion do it. You see Rial like,
Yeah.
No, that's what I was saying.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah, he
fake
can do it.
one
Yeah.
on ice.
totally.
Like, join in with it.
Get it.
Not the actual one in front of the gate. No, the one.
The illusion, totally. Yes, compelling, making even more sense.
Show, baby.
Tight.
It's all about the show.
Yeah,
Nice.
baby.
I like
Put the
it.
face on.
You see the Frost Giant across from him, you know, mortal enemies, the Stone and the Frost Giant. You see they kind of lock eyes as if there's no longer a lot of other battles going around, but just the one between the Frost Giant and this illusion of a Stone Giant. The Silent G's are up. Are they staying posted, Divit?
Yeah, they're getting quite comfortable in the tree line.
Epic opportunity. What are you doing, Divit?
Yeah, so I feel like that worked pretty well last time. But I don't want to push my luck with it.
You break the sun. Oh shit! I did it again.
Right.
I did it
Damn
again.
it. I did it here too.
Why do I always break the sun?
Sundial.
Sundial. Yeah, you even hate sundials, bro. What's the?
Yeah.
Is there a secret backstory that you haven't even included me on yet?
I
need to
tried
know.
to make some tea once, and he was like, "No, I just want regular ass tea, no sun tea."
Huh.
I hate sun tea.
It's all coming together now.
So here's what I really want to do. I want to shatter this mountain but I want to finesse it. I want to finesse it so that it that giant that's close to Rial, and then that one unit that's behind him. I want to try to make it so that it avalanches and cuts them off from the rest of the group.
Okay.
So that
You're
so
doing
that they're
like
stuck
an
alone
8-ball
with.
corner pocket kind of
Yeah.
thing. You put a little spin on it.
Put some English on it.
A little,
Twist
Yeah.
it.
little
Twist
English.
it, twist.
Yeah.
little
So
cilantro.
you start channeling your shatter. Again, you just call upon. You're like, well, perfectly good time not to waste this epic horn that I seemingly have at my side. You do it again. You see the focused pink and purple mist come down on the mountain like a hammer. Let's see. Maybe it doesn't roll as bad as the other one did. We'll see. No, it rolled as bad as the other one did. So it actually works. Yeah. You let me get another one of those little sweet circles. How about this? I'm gonna copy paste this one. Look at me. Look at me. Growing up.
Hell yeah, more circles, baby.
More circles. We are the team of
Circles.
circles.
Circles,
Hell
baby.
So, Divit, you once more have shut off another path of travel. You know, they can still go through the trees, but you know that's going to take them longer. Not that they can't, but it will take them longer. So you blow the top off, you know, put a little English on the spin, and the avalanche slides down, dividing the two troops. I am going to go ahead and give you, let's say, a 25% chance. I rolled 37, so no. Maybe there was a little damage involved there, but the tactical position of closing off yet another alleyway, pushing them toward the point again. Well played. So sweet. Spriggans are up. That one with difficult terrain can only move one. Oop, that's okay. That's why I didn't want to do it. There we go. All right, he can only move one square. This one's gonna, dude. Your plan worked. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's biting. He's 2, 3, 4. You see, basically the bulk of the army finally starting to make their push toward the ice, all looking at the center point here, where Bruenor was fainting that there might be the key to the workshop. You see one thing in these spirits that you don't see in the gnomes, and that is greed. They seemingly start pushing past each other, each trying to get their opportunity to appease the queen and bring her some kind of precious reward. You know, again, Thoricus, you don't see a unified group. You see, you know, a led force, you know, almost pushed by this force of furious magic behind them, the queen herself. But yeah, it's not like they're all, you know, working together for the greater good. They're all right now kind of moving forward into this spot to move at. In fact, no, because they're going to dash. So they use their action because they can't reach the attack anyway. And basically, it happens. You've got the bulk of the army of these Spriggans not even focused on battle, not even attacking the master bait, but digging into the ice itself with their wooden roots at this ruse, this concept. The key is right here. Perhaps we don't even need to go any further. I could just give her the key, and you see this just devious hunger in their eyes as they scrape at the ice, and you know, you see like the edges of their fingers are splintering like wood or certain rocks. Stones that are splinters, and so yes, you see it's like they're almost hurting themselves trying to find where this key could be. So successfully, epically rused were they. It is in this moment that we kind of roll into Powder Up North.
Well. I want to phone in
Tensions are
with
high.
best friend and ask him if we want to light the fuse. Do you want me to blow it? Blow the bomb?
Oh, did you check that Rocky Talkie message I sent you earlier? You were on the message with someone else. I sent you a message.
I hate that. It gets
Via
all mixed up.
walkie-talkie. You didn't look at it though.
He
Still
left
says
it on
you haven't
scent.
looked at it. It says it was sent, but you haven't looked at it yet.
Yeah, no. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that was like 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
I want to pick up your goddamn phone.
Thoricus cast the spell. Jake, look at your phone.
Whoa.
Normally bad advice, but in this case, I'm sure it's probably something cool. But yeah, the impetus is on the Powder Up North right now. You've got your boys And then Rial, your epic opportunity.
Yeah, dude, if you're asking me like real shit, like it's on, but you need to go ham-bonious on this
Nord.
on that Nord. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, I got you. Fuck yeah. He's in range for the powder up north, so they're gonna unload.
Yeah, just take them out as you can. That might draw the attention, but whatever. The majority of them are on the ice, which is our plan the entire time.
Sweet.
Dope. Yeah, you know what? As you guys, have this conversation, you look. It seems like that orb of swirling, maelstrom of black and light magic as you see this epic sword display of Sir Curie versus the guardian of the Winter Court, having this just magnanimous battle in the background. It is seemingly stopped back there, though. It's not continuing to push forward, nor is the black swirling cloud of smoke and magic. It seems like this fight, this conflict, is holding back the magic of Queen Mab, holding it at bay. Perhaps the moment that Sir Curie was so vigorously preparing himself for.
All right. Beautiful. Let's see what the powder up north has for this one. Cross train went the wrong way. What?
Whoa, cricket.
My boys. My boys.
Yeah.
A little the powder up north.
John.
Baby. Gosh, just hot dice. You guys are great. All right, crits. So, let's see here. You know what? I'm going to kind of wing this on the fly, but I do enjoy the concept. We will just double your battle ranking on a 20. That's like the crit modifier effect. So, they have a 7. They get 14 plus your 20. That's a 34. Mathematically, the giant can only get a 30, but he could roll a crit also, so I'm going to let him. Nope, just an 11. So you beat him by more than 11. He takes 5 from his battle ranking. And then he has to make a morale saving throw. DC, in this case, because of your crit, 15.
Failure.
You rolled a 4. Rial, you see as this frost giant grabbing another tree and just throwing it aside like a toothpick. Stepping forward, his big, thick, massive, gray leafed beard hanging down with these giant golden horns. And suddenly, once more from the trees, you just hear... And he gets lit up by just like 100 of these little tiny, or 200 ice picks. And then you watch as this like intense, muscular, stone, square-jawed face just F this. Turns around and just starts running away.
There we
He
go.
gives up. He's like, nah.
Not today, Satan.
We flip him. There we go. Ah. So yes, he's removed from battle. He is running away. So I mean, like, I'll leave him there if you guys wanted to do anything. But he's not actively participating in battle. He lost his morale check, and he is fleeing the battle.
No, sweet. This is like the perfect timeout spot for him. I just wanted everybody. He was the only one, not where we wanted them to be. I'm like,
Yeah, you see him kind of running back toward this like avalanche caved-in area. Like, oh no!
Oh jeez.
He's not thrilled with this situation right now.
You wouldn't
All
say
right.
on nuts.
Rial, what about you? What's your epic opportunity?
Oh, I heard Bruenor. I could hear her going, and I want at least minor illusion, some semblance of like a key, whereabouts of the masturbate.
Oh,
The key is
all right.
master.
Yeah, you see. I'm gonna give him an intelligence check because the minor illusion's not a. They rolled a 9. It's gonna look a little weird, but I'm just gonna stack them up. At the point that you put them, you see the entire mass of their army gathers in this small area as they push over each other. And it's like some of them are aware it's an illusion, but by the time they find out, they end up buried by like 3 other ones that are digging their way at what they swear they just saw, the gleaming key that must be the workshop key. The queen will surely, promote me and get me out of these ranks. You can feel this chaotic trickster energy just kind of fiending selfishly after this key. You've kind of wrestled all the cattle together and it right in the position for the plan and the move. Success, Rial. You're still stealth because nobody around you is actually looking at you. So Chyea Bois, you're up.
Excellent. Okay. So I see that they're going for that key. Chyea Bois are staying there because we're waiting for the explosion to happen for them to go and do their thing. How long until this explosion happens? Oh, okay.
Yeah, technically, I mean it's a big giant powder keg, so whoever
Any
wants
of us
to
could
make that
have
call
given
can
the
make that
signal.
call.
Thanks for telling us.
Yes. I never said what the signal was. All I said to him was, "You'll know it when you see it."
Yeah.
Any of us at this point could have fucking said, "I am waiting for my turn to do it because no one else has done it."
Look at
I
that.
think
That's
we
great
were all
D&D
waiting
play,
for
though.
your
Thank you
turn.
for not
Like-
using your meta knowledge.
Yeah, we were all waiting for your turn as well, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
man.
set it up with him.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
God.
That's okay. We're gonna communicate better later.
It's all good. That's why I even asked, but I mean, whatever. It all worked out anyway, but shit.
Yeah, it worked out. Cool. Can I fly over it and throw a hand axe at it? Can I get to a point that I'm like,
With your
I'm
fire
just-
breathing
run away.
dragon.
You're like, "Run away! The shoes are a lie. It's a regular storm. He's not lying to you. Go kill him."
They light it themselves? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, make
No.
them do it.
Goodbye, world.
Shoes.
Tell them to light that birthday cake.
Yeah, Bruenor,
Bullshit.
if you want to use your epic action to make the signal, you need to just tell me what the signal is, what you do.
So perfect, excellent. So the signal is going to be me looking at the key and me going, Thoricus, when the fuck are we just gonna do the dang thing? And I'm like doing like noodly arms, like when? Yeah.
You
So
get
it's
on
just
Brian.
my epic action is me. Like, now that I've distracted them, I'm like, no, why'd you asshole?
All right. So, Rivet, controlled by your dungeon master. You give him the signal. He's gonna shoot this ballista. Sorry. At and just one more time because it's worth it.
No.
I
want that fresh in your mind.
You.
They
This
have
is-
red shirts, guys. You knew they were gonna die.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
The masturbate. Stand nearby. All right. Here it is, guys. Here's your attack with the. It gets advantage here. It doesn't have disadvantage, so. Here we go. 2d20.
So
That's good enough.
yeah.
Good enough.
Hey!
Good enough.
All right.
Let's do it.
So you see, you kind of camera pans back to old Rivet, sitting there, one eye, one hook. Talks like this for this specific sesh. Don't rewind and find out what he used to talk like. That'll just spoil the magic. And you see he looks down, and he's just staring at the candy cane. His one good eye, if you could zoom in on it, would have a little heart as he just lusts after the candy cane. Sat squat in the middle, covered in his, let's call it essence. And finally, seeing the signal, the wavy, the noodly arms, the first gesture that Thoricus had made that he assumed was the signal anyway. You see, he takes his little cigar out of his mouth, takes his little clamp hand, locks it on the little handle. You see the bolt sear through the sky. You know, you've got the purple and the blue mist on one side. You've got the burning sun in the sky. And as the bolt, you know, reaches the height of its shot and begins coming down toward where the bomb sits, the candy cane, you see, similar to Tynna's scythe, a beam of sunlight. And as you look at it, you realize standing at the front of the beam of light is Sir Curie, his sword gleaming with this burning sunlight as he shoots down. He arcs his sword, and you see this like V-shaped arc of sunlight just slice into the barrel. You see it begins to explode, and as the ballista bolt lands, it again gets lit on fire and then just projected right through the chest of this giant frost giant on the side of the lake. You see the ballista just buries right in his chest. His body immediately bursts into this holy fire. And he starts falling down. You're kind of like, that's the last thing you see is this epic bust of light. Explodes. And that's where we're going to pick it up next time, guys.
Wow.
That's not fair. I was just muting it so I could unpack or get the ash out of my bowl. I was so ready to just keep going.
I'm feeling.
Yeah.
That is not fair.
All right. So the first half of your plan has gone to order. What shall the second half bring? I can't freaking wait, guys. Oh my gosh. Whew, thank you guys. I need this. I did and a half, man. This is my very favorite thing. These are my very favorite people. This is us. This is who we are. And god damn it, I love these people. That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed kind of our new little toy. We're going to be doing some cool stuff. Remember, tonight is the only night that you can get that Doink hat for free. Be sure to get your Doink hat now. Otherwise, it's exclusive. It'll never come back. People will be like, wait, where'd you get that hat? And you'll be like, oh, you had to be there. And you did have to be there. That's the rule. So, guys, we got a little ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you have heard about it, maybe you haven't, but at the end of such a kick-ass night of D&D, we like to take a lighter like this one here, hold it in front of us, make sure we're not going to light any of our friends, family, or household pets on fire, and go. Lighters up. Thank you so much for playing D&D with us, guys. We freaking love you.
Oh, God.
God damn!
God damn.
So what? You can't touch me, 'cause I'm from the internet.